Now welcome to another fight predictions video. This is Floyd Mayweather's possible next few opponents. So as many people do know, Floyd Mayweather is scheduled to face Marcus Maidana in a rematch for the WBC, WBA and Ring Magazine welterweight titles later on this year, having beaten Maidana originally in May. As you also do know, currently Mayweather is scheduled to retire next September, which means Mayweather has 2 fights left on his current contract with Showtime and CBS. And this video is my opinion and who, if he does going to fight, and who he might fight, going to fight, and my predictions for the fight outcomes. Everyone does know, obviously, since I think about early 2008, that Manny Pacquiao's name has been mentioned every single time Floyd Mayweather has been scheduled to fight. Same goes for Manny Pacquiao. Every single time Manny Pacquiao is scheduling a fight or is in a gap between fighting, Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao's name has been thrown in the mix, and they've obviously been combined together to fight each other. It hasn't happened at this current point, and I've mentioned a number of times in my different videos that I do think Floyd Mayweather will not fight Manny Pacquiao. Many reasons why this fight will happen, but obviously everybody doesn't know. Obviously everyone's got their own different opinion of why they're not going to fight, and if they do fight, what would happen. But I do think Floyd Mayweather's next 2 opponents could potentially be Amir Khan, Miguel Cotto, or Canelo Alvarez. Start with Amir Khan. Amir Khan is a tough, well, he's not necessarily tough, he's a tough fighter, obviously in his own right. He's got a lot of heart. An exciting fighter from Britain, fast hands. They just moved up to 147. He was scheduled to fight Mayweather this May, after taking the Floyd Mayweather win poll. But Maidana earned the right, in my opinion, and many other people were speaking as well, to get the Floyd Mayweather fight. That's why he's fighting Maidana again, because he wasn't able to commit to performance for Mayweather. But I do think he will fight Mayweather next May. It all depends on how Mayweather performs in this fight and how Amir Khan performs in his upcoming fights, if he does fight in December this year. So if they do fight, I do see Floyd Mayweather winning by a decision against Amir Khan. This would be a great fight for a lot of neutral fans, hardcore fans and British fans, obviously a large majority of different fans obviously around the world. Now, so Amir Khan is an exciting fighter and brings an element to Floyd Mayweather's fighting ability that he hasn't really seen. Simply the fact that Amir Khan is extremely fast and poses a threat obviously through his speed. I'm not saying that Amir Khan has obviously the key to beat Floyd Mayweather because he's fast. Amir Khan obviously has a lot of weaknesses. He's not very good on the inside. When he's fighting off the ropes, he hasn't really got the ability or the knowledge really to fight off the ropes correctly. And also he's got a big habit of fouling in the majority of his fights. Obviously, and his biggest weakness is of course his chin. But Amir Khan has looked a bit more solid in recent fights. But then again, he did get dropped by Julio Diaz, who is a pumped up lightweight. So obviously, with saying that, Amir Khan has a lot of strengths as well. Obviously his speed, his movement, he's got a good ability to adapt to fights, but at the same time Floyd Mayweather's a different fighter altogether. And I do think all Mayweather had to do was be normal Mayweather, take a couple of rounds to find his groove, find how Amir Khan fights, and just pick him off with obviously the normal array of Floyd Mayweather punches that obviously you wouldn't expect to see in Floyd Mayweather. And even though Floyd Mayweather does fight in a boring way, he gets the job done and fights effortlessly sometimes. So I do see Mayweather win by decision. The next opponent potentially could be Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto just won the WBC middleweight and linear championship off of Sergio Martinez. So saying that, they did fight in 2012 when Miguel Cotto was at light middleweight division, the WBA light middleweight title. Floyd Mayweather won that belt by decision, but Miguel Cotto has probably given it one of his toughest fights in his whole career. Simply the fact that Miguel Cotto is awkward to fight, he's got good punching power, and he's always relentless. He's always coming forward, never stepping back, always in your face. And Floyd Mayweather, I think, have struggled quite badly at times. I did a review of that, and I will link all my other previous reviews in the descriptions below. If they were fights again, obviously I do think Mayweather would have to go up to 160 pounds, which isn't, I don't think, a massive problem, considering Mayweather, I think the heaviest he's ever been at is 150. Yeah, Mayweather might not be able to get up to 160. I could see a catchweight fight being announced, but if they were going to fight for the rematch, I still think Floyd Mayweather would beat Miguel Cotto, simply the fact that he knows how Miguel Cotto fights. Yeah, Miguel Cotto is obviously probably a new improved fighter from Freddie Roach, but I still don't think Miguel Cotto has enough skill or the actual ability to really trouble Mayweather. Yeah, he still have his moments in the fight like he did in the first one, but Mayweather still controlled the majority of the fight in the first fight, and I still see it happening in the second fight. And the third opponent, which I don't see this happening, but could be a potential opponent for maybe image or money rights, is Canelo Alvarez. As many people do know as well, Floyd Mayweather did face Canelo Alvarez last year in a light middleweight title fight. And this is probably one of the easiest fights I've seen Floyd Mayweather fight in recent years. And I've seen Mayweather fight for a majority of years now, probably from the way back into 2006 when he fought Zab Judah, currently up to now. And I couldn't believe how easy Floyd Mayweather dominated Canelo Alvarez. I did actually think that Canelo Alvarez could be his size, his power, his youth, obviously like his activity, much more fresher than Mayweather. I did actually think Canelo Alvarez would cause problems to Mayweather. I wasn't giving him the win, but I did think it would be a lot closer than it was. And Mayweather just schooled Alvarez. Personally, I do think Mayweather probably won all of the rounds, maybe losing one of the 2 rounds in obviously parts, but I do think Mayweather dominated Canelo Alvarez from start to finish, and like I said, one of the easier fights in his career that I've seen him in his whole career span. So these are my 3 potential opponents. Of course you can write comments below if I think I'm right and wrong, but those are my 3 now down. Like I said, I would like to see him fight Amir Khan and Manny Pacquiao for his final fight. There's a few rumours going around, a few interviews on YouTube that Mayweather could fight Pacquiao, obviously for his last fight, but I don't see that happening, simply the fact that there's too many obstacles in the way. This fight has been going on for so many years. It'll still be a great fight, but I just don't think they're good enough in their both abilities now to really grasp that classic fight everyone was really expecting. If they did fight in maybe late 2009, early 2010, that'd be a great fight because they're still probably in their primes. Pacquiao has kind of declined in recent years, whereas Mayweather still is obviously a pinnacle of the sport, and he's still obviously one of the best fighters in the world, and he hasn't really shown any signs of declining. Maybe hinting at the fact that declining wise for the Madonna first fight, but maybe because I think the reason why he looked a bit declining in that fight because he adapted his fight style to Madonna. But I still think if they did fight, my small prediction would be for Floyd Mayweather win easily. That's for a different video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video.